So a couple days ago, this came out. This is from MadPat. It's called Game Theory. This is not my channel. Apparently, and I haven't watched it yet. We're gonna watch it now because I'm curious. He sold Game Theory. A little surprised. I'm gonna watch a little more before making too much comment, but that's crazy. I've watched some of his stuff. I remember like years ago, I used to watch his stuff while I was at work. I would sit down and watch like some of the old things. I liked Game Theory. It was cool. It still is pretty cool. Occasionally, I'll come past like a Game Theory. I've watched like the whole FNAF series. I don't even play FNAF. It's too scary for me. But I've watched the whole Five Nights at Freddy's series. It's cool stuff. So I mean, I'm curious as to why he did that. I love your content, bro. I've been watching for over a year. I appreciate that, brother. Really, thank you so much. Thank you so much. All right, let's watch this.
The other day I stumbled across this video. It is probably one of the most massively important videos on this website, but I don't think most of us have ever actually seen it. Here's a clip.
Hi YouTube, this is Chad and Steve. We're the co-founders of the site. Today we have some exciting news for you. We've been acquired by Google. We wouldn't be anywhere close to where we are without the help of this community.
So,
oh, I thought that they were okay.
That right there, my friends, is Chad Hurley, Steve Chen, and I believe behind the camera is Jawed Karim, the three co-founders of YouTube, announcing that they had just sold their company to Google. I mean,
oh, you know what's weird? I remember that happening. I'm so old. I remember when YouTube used to, or excuse me, when Google used to have like Google Video. It was so bizarre. It was so bizarre. Google Video, and then they bought it. I mean, it's not a crazy story. It's just like I'm so old. I remember that.
Sure, we all are at least passingly familiar with Day at the Zoo, which is officially the first video uploaded onto YouTube. But this one right here, a message from Chad and Steve, is arguably more important. Watching this video nowadays, it is shocking how YouTubey it felt back, 16 years ago? I mean, this thing was uploaded in 2006, but listen to it.
Two kings have gotten together, and
I was 16 years old, bro. Isn't that crazy? Yeah.
we're going to be able to provide you an even better service and build even more innovative features for you.
Cool, I guess.
They laugh, they joke, they go off script, they
say.
get meta by talking about what bloopers they're going to keep in. I mean, towards the end, they even make a Burger King joke.
The king of search, the king of video have gotten together. We're going to have it our way. Can't do that.
This video, where a group of three friends announce that they have just made the biggest business deal of their life, set the tone for what a YouTube video would look and feel like before the concept of a YouTube video even existed. That's crazy. But this video is also noteworthy because of what it did for the future of online video. Sure, these three had a grand vision of how great their website could be and just how much greater it could become, but they were just three dudes and the team that they had managed to assemble. They needed help, they needed expertise, and a lot of extra hands to help make it realize its fullest potential. By selling YouTube to Google, these three took a successful idea and they supercharged it. YouTube is now the second most visited website in the world, and it's created a home and a job for everything from like funny cats and VTubers and Walmart yodelers.
Yeah, now that you say that, Matt Pat, I think we should probably just give up YouTube because, I mean, like, do we really need it? Nah, YouTube's been pretty great, man. And I'm a little scared because so far, you know, overall, I think YouTube's pretty solid. You know, I'm a TikToker. I came from TikTok. There's drastically less censorship on here, which is something that, like, I obviously appreciate. You know, you could speak your mind a little bit more without, like, you know, fear of getting fucking terminated in most cases. This YouTube Shorts, there seem to be they're putting a lot of work into like their streaming aspect, their Shorts aspect, to separate those and kind of make it, you know, possible to build a kind of a brand around all of them, which is something that I can appreciate that as well. Hey, what's going on? So yeah, and the reason that scares me is because, like, you know, I feel like they're a better streaming platform than Twitch. At least, like, it's easier to be seen on here. I like it a little bit more. They pay better monetization. They don't have like the Amazon Prime, which is the benefit to that. But then they're going to start paying for their shorts, like about 45% of the ad revenue, which is big because TikTok only has a static fund that they've never increased since their inception, like 1 or 2 years ago, which now pays like maybe 10% of it. It's crazy. So I can respect it. You know, it's really cool that you can have one channel with your shorts, your this, your lives, and your this and that. It's cool. So I can appreciate YouTube. I'm just afraid that, like, you know, if they become so big and they have no competitors and they'll have no reason to like treat their content creators particularly well. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that makes me a little apprehensive.
Gamers and gamers alike, artists, editors, animators, soap carvers, I mean, you name it, any other creator out there who has something to say, they can find a job here on YouTube. All of our lives would look substantially different had it not been for that one video. So, why am I telling you that? Sure. Well, because Steph and I just sold Theorists.
Oh!
We sold this business. This channel is no longer only my channel. This logo that has been beside my face for...
So did they sell the whole thing? Because he said only my channel. Did they sell part of it? Does that mean that they're doing like what is it called, franchising it, or no? That's not what it is. They're having like a buy-in. They're having like investors partake in part of it. Is that what they're talking about? Because that's interesting. If that's the case, okay.
Or the last 12 years is no longer just my logo. These colors, clickbait green, no longer my clickbait green. And I know that sounds scary when I just say those words.
I'm not too
Change
scared.
is always going to be a little bit scary, but by making this move now, it ensures that this place, this channel, this awesome thing that you've been a part of, helping me build for the last 12 years, it stays protected and it stays healthy and it continues to thrive for years of theorists yet to come. Together, we have done some incredible and amazing and also cringeworthy and meme-worthy things over the last 12 years. We've made video games come to real life. We have given Undertale to the Pope. That's more on the meme-worthy side. We've raised millions of dollars.
What is that? What do they mean they gave Undertale to the Pope? What does that mean? What does that fucking mean? They gave Undertale to the Pope? That sounds so cringe. What?
For charity, for children in hospitals. But we've also, simultaneously whipped and nay-nayed. So really, we've ran a huge gamut here. Through it all, though, we have spent way too long talking and thinking about murderous animatronics. But the thing is now, those adventures are just the beginning. Just like Chad and Steve inside that video, Steph and I realized that we were holding ourselves and our team and also this community back. And that with partners, with the right partners who respected us and also respected you, that we could finally do all the cool projects that we've wanted to roll out for just the longest time. I mean, case in point here, do you know how long it took us to finally launch Food Theory? 3 years. 3 years for a single channel. We knew that we wanted to do Food Theory way back in 2017, and I can even prove it to you. Here's a video from the top of 2018 where I drop a reference to it publicly for the first ever time. I don't think this is actually a real food either.
New theory coming out. But
that's a food theory. Thanks for munching.
I don't know if I guess that was in his head. I don't think anybody put that together and went like, oh my god, they're launching a new channel. Okay. Cool.
I didn't know it at the time, but this was definitely something that was coming. We just assumed that it was going to happen much, much sooner than it actually did. You see, we wanted to launch Food Theory in 2018. Then it rolled over into 2019. And it took us until mid-2020 to actually get the channel fully operational. It took us 2 full years to hire and train new editors, to find more food-centric researchers, to work on hundreds of different versions of the logo until we created the perfect one.
I guess that makes sense. You need a bunch of infrastructure. I guess I didn't think about all like the research aspect that would be required. So, okay, fair enough.
Why did it take so long? Because time is our most limited resource. All of us on the team were already working on all the regular...
And big titty anime girls are pretty limited too, but, you know, we don't talk enough about that.
Videos, which includes notes and thumbnails and filming. We were also doing St. Jude at the time, and Steph and I were consulting. We were traveling to conventions to hang out with you guys. And that's all the fun stuff. That isn't even mentioning all the unsexy stuff of actually running a responsible business. All the things you don't want to think about, like taxes and payroll and contract review and meetings. So many meetings. I cannot tell you how much of my life is wasted in meetings. Oh wait, yeah, I actually can tell you how much of my life is wasted in meetings. Google Calendars actually has a feature that breaks down how your time is scheduled on a month-to-month basis. You know, and I was curious. I'm a data guy. I'm like, oh, I wonder how my time's breaking down. 80.
I'm a data guy too. How the fuck are gonna be immune to this right now? I'm trying my best, dude. You know, I'm more of a father guy. You know what I'm saying, dude? I'm also kind of pissed off because I'm fucking getting my shit pushed here. I need 76,000. I'll just sell this. I don't give a fuck. All right. There we go. Easy.
Hours of meetings last month alone. 4 full days in meetings. That is crazy. That hit hard. Don't get me wrong. I love our team. I love Tom. I love Amy. I love Ash. I love Jason. Less so Jason. Spending that time with Jason was taking me away from the thing that I fell in love with doing. Working on new...
Amy? Oh.
Cool, silly, thoughtful, wacky projects.
Wacky doodles.
You know what else hit me hard recently? The realization that over the last 10 years, I have never once left for vacation without packing my VO recording setup. This thing,
yeah, man, that's what I do now too. Like, I just don't go on, I don't really go on vacation without like a laptop to be able to record some, you know, really low effort content, you know. It's kind of true, though. It is true.
If I ever go on a romantic vacation with Steph, this is the third wheel. It is always with me. Now that I think about it, there was one time when I didn't bring this with me. It was Steph and my final vacation before we had a child. No joke. That is the only time in my life that I have ever left, ever packed a bag without bringing this along with me. But then when you stop and look at what work needs to get done in a given week, you can start to understand why this thing is permanently grafted onto my arm. Every week, we produce anywhere between 7 and 10 videos. That is insane.
Really? Wow, that's a lot.
I mean, sure, some of them are me just sitting on this couch and being bad at video games. Those are the easy ones.
Hey,
but more often
that's all my streams, baby. I can nothing beat it.
than not, those videos require tons of research, way too much editing. It requires this constant need to execute every hour of every week of every year. We have never taken a break. And you know, we could hire more people. Yes, absolutely. We have taken an effort to hire amazing people, like Ash behind the camera right now, Sam and Josiah in the room behind me, the rest of the team who lives all across the world, but it took a long time to find them. And it's important to remember that when you hire new people, it takes time, attention. You have to give those people feedback. You have to train them, coordinate with them. Also means more taxes and contracts and paperwork for Steph and Jason and I. And all of this is without getting into YouTube in 2022, my friends. YouTube in 2022 is also starting to require us to do shorts to be relevant, which, you know, I
don't know if you have to do those, but that takes a lot more work. I've been doing some shorts, and I took a little break until they start monetizing them, because it is a lot of work. I was doing like 4 videos a day with 4 shorts, and it takes so long to find the shorts and do this and that. It's a lot of work, actually. And so I'm waiting a little bit to figure out how exactly I want to do it, because, you know, it'd be a good plug for my videos, but holy fuck, it's a lot.
Have my thoughts on, but that is just the way of the system. All of us on the team, we're excited about those. Doing something short form, oh, it's gonna be like a breath of fresh air for us. It's gonna be amazing. But it also means that there's even more stuff on our plate. And honestly, that's a shame, because this team,
I love stuff on my plate.
So many good ideas.
I'm fat.
Lee, over on Film Theory, he's an incredible storyteller. Head editor Dan, you might have seen him sitting on the couch here. He is hilarious on camera. Sedge, he's one of our editors. He is constantly looking for new challenges to overcome. And Jason, he's got good ideas too. Don't tell him I said that, though. I'll never live it down. Everyone on this team is so talented, and I cannot tell you what an honor it is to get to work with them day in and day out and share in that creativity. And there are so many awesome ideas that just float around between us. The ARGs that we want to do for you guys, the scary mystery podcast that'll have you re-listening to search for clues, the indie game that'll get you questioning everything that you just played, the Netflix show that'll prove to the world that anyone with a love and a passion can be a theorist. But in order to do any of that, any of it before the heat death of the universe, we just needed more help. You guys all know that we try to keep you aware of trends in the digital video space, right? We were the first to shine a light on the algorithms that decide what videos get popular and which ones don't. We predicted that PewDiePie would become the #1 channel, and then we predicted when he would lose that crown. We defined.
Did they really do that? Did they get the predictions correct, though? That's my question. Did they actually get them correct, or did they just predict it? Like, we predicted that this was going to happen, and then it did. But, like, they didn't correctly predict it. You know what I mean? How did that go? Someone tell me.
The generations of YouTube and codified this massive sprawl of online content into discrete packets, little digestible moments in time so you could track the history of online video. And most recently of all, I was on this couch and I talked to you about this new era of YouTube, this era of entrepreneurs, business owners, creators who are content not just to do video, but who want to use this platform to launch into other successful industry-shaping businesses. Here's the full story. There's been another trend that's happening parallel to that one where businesses recognize the value of trusted online brands and want to help them achieve their full potential. Over the last 2 years, we've been approached by no less than 10.
I don't know. The way that he's talking about it, I feel like this could be one of the worst decisions that they've ever made. Like, it just sounds like, yeah, we got this brand that'll really help us. And I think that they mean it. But I mean, like, what happens if that brand isn't as, like, good or trustworthy as they think? You know what I mean? I feel like it's a potential. It's like, yeah, I have a lot of, it's almost like we're investing in Logan Paul again. You know, this is like a little, this is this really great crypto game, you know? I don't know. It's kind of making me a little sussied out, but hey, might just be me.
Of those sorts of companies, which honestly is flattering. I can't tell you exactly who they were for confidentiality reasons, but let's just say that the range was massive. You had everything from like small startups to some of the largest TV producers and distributors in the world. As one of the most consistent and successful content brands online, and also one of the most diverse video brands online, there was just a lot of interest in us. Not many people have channels that exist at the top of like 3 separate and very distinct verticals, or has an audience that's so willing to listen to us ramble about everything from like Marvel to small indie titles that you've never heard of to, hey, this is how you can eat your own Christmas tree. All of that's a credit to you.
Is that true? I can't. Mine's plastic, but okay.
You guys, there's a lot of people who wanted to talk to us about being in the business of you. But as more and more of these requests came in, Steph and I started to ask ourselves, well, what would a good partnership look like? What could it deliver to us and to you? Steph was on the front lines of all of these conversations, and for the last year has basically had to give herself a crash course in everything from investment banking, M&A lawyering, to international business law.
I'm your one-stop shop for all your acquisition needs.
These conversations would sometimes take months. Hopefully one day she gets to tell all the wild stories that she has from it all, because the work was intense and honestly largely thankless. In the end, Steph and I did ultimately settle on what our...
So why don't you thank her, bro?
criteria looked like. The perfect partner would have to respect us and our team. They'd have to trust us to do what we do best, YouTube. Theorizing, making videos. They'd have to be able to maintain our level of quality or be able to better it. They'd have to be good at dealing with all the stuff that we can't or don't want to deal with. Business pipelines, hiring stuff, social media. And most importantly of all, they'd have to respect you. Ultimately, we
Yeah, social media sucks. It's like I personally just like making the content, but
wanted to find a partner who could get us out of all those boring contract review meetings and put us back into doing what we love to do, creating cool stuff for you. And eventually...
That's cool. I just feel like maybe it'll be a little... I mean, I get like the whole like I want to stay out of the contract stuff. That makes sense to me. But then also like, you know, if you're staying out of the contract review meetings, and how are you going to be up to date on what's actually happening in those meetings in like a more personalized way? You know, and then that gives, and then if what I'm hearing is correct, that they're the ones in those contract review meetings, what it sounds like to me is that that's a pretty significant lack of control. Like, oh yeah, we're not even going to be part of the contract review. Okay, so then what's stopping them from implementing some kind of a policy that would have like a, you know, be a pretty profound change about the channel? Then you're not going to be involved in that. Like, I'd be shitting my asshole if it were me personally. I don't know, you know, like, wouldn't that be a little scary? I'd think.
We found people who got it, who ultimately passed the vibe check. They're an investment partner and production support company called LunarX. But look, even their title and logo are nerdy. And honestly, these guys are great. Over the past couple weeks, they've been spending a lot of quality time with us here in North Carolina, hanging out with the team, doing all the nerdy stuff that we like to do together. Escape rooms, Dungeons and Dragons, movie nights, being terrible at golf together, trying to understand the sport of hockey. But most importantly of all, they've already started to have a positive...
I'm fucking trying to understand golf. It's like the most boring fucking game I've ever played in my goddamn life, dude. How do people like that shit? I don't get it.
Impact with us. They've enabled us to do something that we've wanted to do for the past year. Launch the next Theorist channel. You might have noticed that the channel banners have updated a little bit. That ring is about to become complete, my friends, in the coming month or so. And it's largely thanks to all the added resources that they're able to provide us. No more waiting around until the heat death of the universe to finally launch a single channel. And you see, that is the biggest change that's going to happen here. More resources, so finally we can move just a little bit quicker. Everything else largely stays the same. I am still host of the show and CEO of Theorists. Steph is still COO. Dan still controls the editing dungeon, and Jason still controls my life. And all the rest of the team, totally intact. Steph and I made sure of it, and Lunar honestly wouldn't have it any other way. Their goal is to make us stronger, to provide us resources so we can all feel a little less pressure to execute without having to actually slow down bit by bit, day by day, which allows us to be healthier humans first and foremost, rather than just mindless content machines every day. Other changes? Well, you know, you'll probably start to see more videos rolling out across the channels. I already talked about shorts. There's TikTok, at least until it gets banned. Woohoo! Data.
Yeah, well, TikTok's not going to actually get banned, but okay. What I would say is like TikTok might itself, your TikTok just might get banned because they're fucking goblins about that. But okay. Yeah, Merry Christmas, brother.
Privacy. And hey, who knows? We might finally get a chance to talk to Netflix about that show that I talked about earlier. But overall, the thing to remember across all of this is that you guys, these theory channels, this will always be our home. This is our #1 priority. The center of our universe, as it were. Get it? It's a space pun because,
I don't get it.
You know, our new company is...
Oh, now I get it. Yeah.
This is the humor that they bought us for, so...
That's what they say. The best jokes need to be explained, baby.
Sorry. Anyway, TLDR, this is and will always be our home. And as we roll out more stuff, you'll finally start getting to see more members of the team. In fact, if you've been watching on the channel, you've started to see more members of the team. I know I mentioned before, but they are a wonderful group of people, and we've been lucky to have them with us. And finally, with resources to be able to expand a little bit, breathe a little bit, it'll finally give them a chance to have a greater voice on the channels. They're starting to have a greater voice on the channels. They've been voicing more characters in the theories. They've been appearing on the couch here, and we've been having a great time. Instead of always having to funnel through my creativity, they'll finally have a chance to stand on their own and have voices, something that they've deserved for a long time now. And for me, in this new phase of our business, of our growth, it's my goal to give a spotlight.
I'm waiting for the fucking thing to put the alert out there, but it didn't. Thank you so much, brother. Happy holidays, Papa, in 2023. Thank you so much, Nico. Thank you so much, brother. I appreciate that. For some reason, the thing didn't read it for me, so I had to read it myself. I'm sorry, my man.
New and upcoming creators. Yeah, the ones on the team, but also ones off the team to pay forward this platform, this voice that you've given me. In the end, I'm just interested in building communities, not empires. I want to be creative. I'm not really interested in being corporate. And with LunarX, we found a like-minded group of individuals who could let us expand without losing the soul of what got us here in the first place. I got onto YouTube at a time when no one else was being nerdy in the way that I wanted to be nerdy. No one else believed that I could add value to their company. No one wanted to hire me. So I had to create something that would show them. I started my YouTube channel just to get hired by someone, literally anyone, to be a cog in their bigger wheel, not to suddenly become the owner of the next Fortune 500 company. Steph and I are probably best described as accidental entrepreneurs. We built all of this structure around us because we were excited to create a place where it was safe to be an overthinker, but at a certain point, we became business owners first, and creators second. The serious stuff started to take us away from what we loved most, which was you. Creating stuff for you. And now finally, with the help of Lunar, it looks like we're going to be able to get back to that. And you know what? I am so excited for that. Since you know me, and since this is the Theory channel, and you know that I can't just leave the couch without making some sort of larger commentary about the state of YouTube and digital video. So here's what I got for you today, friends. Over the next few years, I think you're going to be seeing a lot of...
What is this about? This is about Game Theory selling their company off. Okay. Yeah.
We know a lot of channels who are in the same boat as us. Some have been public about looking for acquisition, others not, but I would expect to see a lot of these sorts of videos happening in the future. Change is scary. It can feel very upsetting. What this means is just good things. Online creators are finally getting the respect, attention, and most importantly, the resources that they need to get back to creating, to get back to what they loved in the first place. It means a healthier balance for everyone, and more of a focus back on the creativity that made digital video so exciting and so special to begin with. 16 years ago, in that one video with Chad and Steve, YouTube started to pave a way forward for more independent voices to be heard. Over the years, a lot of those independent voices have gotten lost as being business owners has taken over their lives. But I think this is the next big inflection point that brings that all back. And personally, I'm excited to be taking this adventure with you. And as always, my friends, it's just a theory. A game! Well, it's not actually a game theory. It's a theory about a lot of stuff. Anyway, onward to the next chapter, my friends. Thanks as always for watching.
All right. I mean, that was interesting. It makes sense to me why they're selling. Personally, it seems like, you know, listen, man, there's a couple of red flags, nothing too crazy, but the potential, them staying out of more of the businessy decisions, or at least the contract creation decisions, could potentially be a problem, but it also might not be. This might be great. It might increase the quality of content. I haven't watched them in super duper long, not because they're bad or anything, but because, like, I guess I'm not sitting, it's kind of a nothing burger. Yeah, but I'm not sitting at work anymore bored, because this is what I do now. I watch videos. So. But I couldn't react to their videos. There's nothing really for me to say. I don't like to react when there's nothing to say. Kind of a nothing burger. I don't think it's a nothing burger. For them, it was more of like, hey, we sold our channel off, and it was something to tell the viewers that, like, the quality isn't going to go down. They're saying it's going to go up, and to make them feel better about it, because it's always scary. I mean, again, it's a scary thing for people who really love their content and watch it in a more religious capacity. This is a big change. This means it seems like there's new management. What it sounds like to me is that they're not managing it anymore. What it sounds like they're trying to say is that, like, the game theory people are making the creative decisions, and this other company is making the managerial decisions, and they bought them out, and that could be a very healthy flow. But we also know that there are times where that could go really bad. I think World of Warcraft's an excellent example where the management decides to try to push short-term gains, especially in a lot like EA as well, and they end up having a negative impact on the creative side. And so I don't know the details of their contract. If they're not sitting in on the meetings that's about their contracts with other, like, brands and stuff, which I'm assuming, that's a little scary for some people. But ultimately, it's probably a good move for them, just in the sense that they get to focus on what they actually like doing instead of it becoming work again. Because, like, it's fun. You know, there's parts of their job that are always going to be more work-esque, and, you know, if you could delegate those away, why not? So I thought it was cool. Good for them. God bless them. Hopefully everything goes well for their channel and stuff. So, yeah. You explained it better than the 17-minute video. Well, yeah, but I'm also going to explain, like, there's only so much they can say, you know what I mean? They're not going to say, I know, guys, this could go really bad, you know what I mean? That would be pretty bad for them. Yeah, this could be fucking terrible, bro. This might go really bad. This might go really wrong.
I want Papa Gut to pee on my face, but just as a friend. There's nothing weird about that. I want him to pee on my face.